Alright. Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Less Known Classics. This is episode number 28. Uh, this is 2845, Doubleshot 2739. Yes. Well, first of which, we're discussing the next set of issues for Robin. Discussing basically Robin Teenage Wastland, which are collected issues 154 to 162. It is written by Adam Beach. I'm also discussing the final issue discussed for Catwoman Volume 2. Okay, Teenage Wasteland. I read this book, I'm like, okay. So, Tim is doing some high school stuff. He apparently at one point got kidnapped and he freed himself. He also apparently has got a girlfriend now. Like, when the heck that happened? It's a black girl from a classmate, and he kind of dates in this book. She debuts in this very book. I don't remember her before. She just shows up, dates Tim. At one point, Batman shows up as date, asks him to help out, but he's busy with a date, so Batman brings the bad guy to his date in order for Tim to deal with it. So Tim calls him out as bullcrap, and not much else happens, sadly. Because you read these like 9 issues, and not a lot happens. Got good artwork. But you read these issues, if you read Chuck Dixon's run, if you got this point, you're like, I miss Chuck Dixon's writing. Because he at least told an interesting story. This is just okay. 7.5. Alright, so next up we have a Catwoman. Issues 78 to 89 and 91 to 94. Kind of an interesting set of issues. From about 78 to about 82, I think it is. Catwoman gets arrested. Yes, she gets arrested. And she gets hauled off to prison. Well, they say of course, she does not give her name. She refuses to give her name. She identifies as Jane Doe, and they say she is Catwoman. You might be thinking, does Selena Kyle have amnesia? Nope, she is just refusing to give her name. That's kind of thing here with this one. He just refuses to give her name, so he refers to her as Jane Doe. So, Illinois to prison. She does not want to go to prison for some reason. Don't know why. And instead, she's sent to she was guilty, but doesn't go to prison. Goes to a private facility, which it's kind of like a prison. And, it's a women's facility, obviously. And only women here, so there's one point, there's a shower scene. Yes, there's a shower scene. You think, are we going to have some lesbian stuff happen? No, that doesn't happen here. There is a brief fight. She defends herself. And she walks out. And the warden, who would be a complete, not a nice person. Yes, the warden it's a woman. Yes. But she's being a dick. So the guard proceeds to not only let Selena Kyle put her clothes back on, proceeds to throw her into, they say, the timeout room, aka solitary confinement, butt naked. I'm like, I'm sure if this warden was probably, if people told that this warden did this to Selena Kyle, people like, yeah, this woman might be reprimanded and probably get demoted. Or something like that. And then she breaks out of her cell. And then a riot breaks out. Yes, a freaking riot breaks out. By the way, some of these issues basically don't even have basically with 78 we have Stas Jansen, the artwork. Which the artwork is actually pretty good here. But I read the issues, I'm like, I miss Jim Ballant because he actually had good artwork. This is just okay. And if you're really curious, how long did this artist stay in the book for? Was it the remainder of the run? So, then apparently the demands are just pretty reasonable. Stop the experimentation because apparently it's like a private clinic. Okay. The answer to the question, did this person stay as a Catwoman artist for the remainder of the run? Mostly yes. He did skip 2 issues. Actually 3. He came with 78, he left with the final issue, but he did skip 87, 88, 90, and 91. All but 4 issues, but generally put, he is like one of the writers, one of the artists. But the writer for the first set of issues here is Baron Corton. Yeah, it's a female writer. The writing is not bad here, just I missed the artwork by Jim Bowen at this point because I actually, despite the guy's criticism basically as an artist, the guy did a really good job drawing this book. The book looked gorgeous under his time. As for the writer Catwoman, she would start with issue 78. Would she do the rest of the book? She would do all but she would leave with issue 91. Yeah, she would skip 2 issues. I think 1 issue was done by Jordan B. Gorfinger, and it was like, and then the final writer was somebody else. So it's like we start out basically with her Catwoman getting arrested, like all because she does something issue 78, and then like 79 she actually is arrested. Yeah, she's arrested in 79, and then like 80 they basically haul off this private facility, which was the Clinic Foundation Rehab Center, which is basically here from 80 to 89. Yes, so then during the course of this riot, of course they take several hostages, and several of the guards like they have their clothes getting cut up by knives, and like ooh we get some more like those so some reason I think ooh we get some no there's no lesbian action here. Yes, and at one point, Celine gets stabbed in the throat, and then she's broken out of the facility by a guard. Like, oh, this new guard, who turns out to be Harley Quinn. And then, of course, they go on like a little adventure together. Her throat gets healed up. And then they have an issue where it's like from the Batman animated series for some strange reason. Well, the new Batman Adventures. Yes, for some reason, the artist decided to do this for some reason. I don't know why. It's really, really weird. Yeah, it is by far one of the strangest things happening here. Yes. Oh yeah, and here's the thing. Basically, issue 89, Catwoman's at the start of the issue. It's all Harley. Now, 90 I'm skipping over because basically it's part of the Officer Down stuff, which I discussed already. But now it's discussing the last 2 issues of this book, and oh boy, it seems as though like the writer basically just like, okay, we gotta end this book, so gotta get revenge against the force against this person known as the Banner, who is a guy created by Larry Hama, who became a recurring villain in this book for reasons unexplained. Appears for 85, 86, 80, and 91. Yeah, and also 91 would be Bryan Cranston's last issue. Peter Doherty did this one. And then for the last 3 issues, it's John Francis Moore. And it's like the end of the illusion. Yes. Because, of course, we deal with Two-Face and Scarecrow in this thing. Yes, and Atkins. And it feels like the writer was trying to do a loose follow-up to Catwoman Volume 1 with this story arc. That's kind of what it is. But it ends on a very stupid note. So it seems though with this issue, it seems like Catwoman dies. And then she's found in garbage by homeless people. I'm like, that's how you end this book? By having her basically survive a fall, and she's found in the garbage by homeless people. Like, what the heck is this? Yeah. Yeah, and that was the end of the book. And after this, she wasn't seen again in comics for a whole freaking year. She then returned into a one-shot known as Selena's Big Score. That was next appearance after this. And there was that really good Becca feature Detective by Ed Brubaker, which was a Slim Brady one, which led to the really good Volume 3. So, what did I think of these issues? I think they're interesting, but it's like, oh, it's like basically like excuse me, it's almost like after No Man's Land. This is my personal theory on this. That my guess is DC had no plans this book. So, like, roughly a little over a year after No Man's Land wraps up, we have to end Catwoman. I don't know why. It's quite baffling. The book was really good. I enjoyed every issue. By, of course, now my final thoughts of this thing. The issues were interesting for what they were. Give it an 8 out of 10. Final thoughts on this whole volume. This 94 issue volume, which to date, it is the longest volume to date. At 94 issues and having like about 5 annuals. The next volume came really close. And then it got axed after 82 issues. Apparently due to low sales. Presumably. Because here's kind of the weird thing. Where it tied into Amazon's attack. Because I was hearing something apparently that when books tied into Amazon attack, they didn't sell very well. But afterwards, everything would pretty much went back to normal once Amazon wrapped up. Like Supergirl managed to last for a couple more years. Working for launch New 52. Teen Titans managed to last for quite a while. It managed to last for, like, because the Titans were issues like 40, 49. It managed to last for another 50 issues. Yes, another 50 issues. That would not be the case with Catwoman, where her book got canceled, and she had to give her daughter up for adoption. Don't know why. And then we had Gotham City Sirens right afterwards. Really good series. Then we had Volume 4, and then no book for a bit, and then we have Volume 5 currently. But with this pre-tell, I'm finished talking about Catwoman for now. Like, is there anything we want to talk about for her? I think, with the exception of the current volume, I have pretty much covered almost everything related to Catwoman. So, since I finished reading Catwoman, what's next? Birds of Prey. Yeah, that was my plan all along to, when I finished Catwoman, because I knew Catwoman had taken very long. So I figured I'd do Birds of Prey next. Yep. Yeah, and I'm glad that Volume 2 is done. I would say it's pretty much a very excellent volume. Like, I would say, if you want to think of a good point, I would say the start by Mary Duff, and you had Chuck Dixon and Doug Moak, who did really good lighting around the book. I would say the book started to slip after No Man's Land, and that's probably what would cause the book to be canceled. I think No Man's Land indirectly canceled this book. Yes, kind of similar to what happened to Amazon Attack. Got part of a crossover and the book got canceled because of it. But at least that book lasted for a little bit period of time, like a handful of months. This lasted for over a year. Did they have a problem with the Harley Quinn stuff? Not necessarily, because weirdly enough, I think it was around the same time this book ended, they had just launched Harley Quinn. Presumably. Yes. Oh, and thanks for reading Catwoman. Like, okay, so aside Batman Detective, it's like a while to go for those two. Like, of the Batman family of titles, what's left? Birds of Prey, Robin, Azrael. I'm thinking, like, I think that's it. I think those three are the only ones left. Oh, and also Red Robin. Because pretty much most of almost everything else related to Batman family titles is mostly all done to review-wise. Like, I have like 4 titles left. Oh, 5. Because I also have Nightwing as well. Yeah, I have roughly 5 left overall for titles. You're like, really? 5? Yeah, though, yes, I'm also reading Brave and Bold and World Triumphs. Those are long-term anthology books. But as family titles that are specifically for Batman, not a lot left for him, sadly. Yeah, like I said, it just Azrael, Robin, Red Robin, Birds of Prey, and Nightwing. Roughly 5 titles left, and that's it. Yep. But only one of those titles was originally started in the 2000s. That was basically Red Robin. Azrael was relaunched from the 90s. Yeah. I'll talk about it at some point when it comes to that. But yeah, that's pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do another dislike button. Next up, I'm going straight to do, I thought I would have time, but looks like I don't. So I'm probably just going to go ahead to my next Comic Corner and get that done up with, which is going to be quite interesting, this one. Okay? Yep. Looks like I'm going to save Fairy Tale Central Quest for tomorrow. Sadly, because it's like 10:30. If I watch the anime now, I probably won't get a chance to review it at 11 o'clock, and I got to get to work in the morning. Okay? But I'll do Comic Corner next. I'll call it a night. Alright? Thanks for you. Bye.